Sorry about that. It cut off. But yeah, the other one was trying to convince me that he was good, doing whatever he could or say. And again, they were fighting back and forth whether or not uh, you know, trying to get me to do what the other one wanted me to do, pretty much. And I saw behind them this bright light, if you will, and it looked like a door almost, and it was just a shining bright light. If you think of a screen monitor, how it's bright and you see rays of light, going off of it technically if you're far away from it, right? Think of it like that, but it was a door, and I was standing right there. They were both in front of me. The door was behind them. I was further back a little bit, and I was just crying. And eventually, I would wake up. Eventually, that turned from me being standing up to literally crouching down in a ball and curled up pretty much, my hands on my knees, crying each and every single time, all the time while I was there in that nightmare. And yeah, there was nothing I could do. I could never wake up from it, no matter how much I wanted to. And I would always cry and wake up frightened and crying. And my mother, she eventually didn't know what to do either. And I was always sleeping with her because she was always there to comfort me, at least. And eventually, uh, she did something that a friend said, and that was to move the furniture. Being spiritual or whatever you want to consider it, people believe certain things, ghosts can harbor into objects and stuff like that, if you will. And she decided to do that. Believe it or not, that's exactly when it stopped, when she decided to move literally all the furniture around in that location. And since then, I have never saw that dream again. And I also had never saw whatever those things were that were always in the dark, if you will, that I had seen previously in the past. And in the future, years, it was a couple of years ago back, right now, in the current time, um, she actually told me something, and that was she had prayed one day, um, that either she would be the one to be taken or he would have to be, because she could no longer take the abuse and and the beating and stuff like that. And that's when you know it happened that he died. And that's why she's more you know Christian and stuff like that now, because she prayed to God, and something happened, and that makes sense why you would start to believe something like that. And in the past, again, I had I noticed all this stuff. This is why I'm more spiritual, I feel, because of what she said, because of what I've seen throughout my life. One of them being at one of the times when I was at a church with her, that one of the old churches on the side, next to a forest, like to the right of it. Think of a building, an older building, and then the side of it, there's forest, nothing but a large forest. I had actually seen this huge white owl, and this was not a normal size owl. Let me tell you that. This was humongous. Think of the largest bird and times it by, I don't know, 100 or something. I have no clue. This thing was as tall as a building and white. You can look up white owls. I'm sure they're probably similar. I can actually do that now. Actually, now that I think about it, but it is not the same height. And it is, like I said, it was as tall as a building, and I wasn't the only one who saw it. My brother was actually there with me, and he saw that. Yeah, snowy owl. It was very similar, but it was more of a standard owl like this. Um, it has more of yeah, like this, I would say. And the thing is, like I said, it was very tall, and it was very odd that it was standing at that location, if you will. And we both seen it. I don't know what to make of it, and I still don't know what to make of it. But it flew off into the forest after we had both seen it. It stood there or on that building for a couple minutes, I would say, at most, maybe a minute, maybe I would say at the least. And since then, yeah, I don't know what to think about that. And like I said, various things happened. I've actually almost died 3 times in my entire life that I can remember, maybe more. And I know I've always survived. I remember going to the hospital, and they even said to my mother one time that I was lucky to be there, because if they had been any later or seconds later, maybe minutes or so, I would literally would have been dead pretty much. And I considered myself lucky. That's why, over the course of time, I had started to think maybe I have someone protecting me. Maybe I have somebody who's there for me and always making sure I live. And the other reason I thought that was because there were so many weird or odd things that would happen to other people, and I can be in the same building or the same location, same area, and I would not see, hear, or notice any of these things that they would say they had experienced. And one of them is my cousin and my uncle's ex-girlfriend at the time. They had both heard my father's voice come out of this speaker in the room, dining room or whatever, a little bit back. I forgot what it was called. A den. It's one of those, it's just another bigger room at the time. They were both came out running, and they both said the same thing, that they heard his voice and they know his voice, and they've heard it very distinctly coming out of those speakers. And that's why, again, there has to be some reason or something going on, right? If stuff like that's happening and I'm not experiencing any of it. And lately, like I said, I've been experiencing more things and more various different things. And one of these things was just like this one, from those 2 nights, which were also last week. I think maybe last month, I'm not sure on the particular day, I had a nightmare as well. This one was very interesting because I had woken up very terrified, and instead of saying, my guardian or my angel or whatever you want to consider them, or protector, I said Jesus, which is very strange because I don't ever say Jesus when I wake up, or if I'm terrified or anything. But that particular day, I had specifically said, "Help me, Jesus," and that was very interesting to me. Because, like I said, I consider myself more spiritual. Yes, I do believe Jesus was real. He did all these things and stuff like that. But I've never called his name like other people who are always like, help him, praying to Jesus and all this other stuff. I never did that. I consider him a person just like everybody else. Maybe you can consider him the Son of God or whatever you want to call him, but I never prayed to him, or never asked him for help or anything like that. But that particular night, after waking up terrified, I started seeing things, and after I said, "Help me, Jesus," I started, like, back in the day, it reminded me of the shadows that moved in the dark, because I felt like something was moving in the dark again that particular night. And yeah, which is very strange. That's why, again, I'm kind of, it was one of the reasons I had decided to make this video. These videos, I guess, by the way, this might be 2-parter, depending on if I can put them together or not. And sorry about the cut. But anyway, there's one last thing, which was the thing I saw, I think last night or earlier this morning. I'm not really sure which one it was. I guess it's yesterday, technically, because it's already the next day for me. But I saw that vision thing again, which was, believe it or not, I'd woken up and I tried to go back to sleep again, but I saw what seemed like, again, just like the previous time where I saw the 555 and whatever those X's or circle X's were, I saw a graph, which is something that people say they see sometimes when they have those visions. And this graph that I saw had a dip twice, which was very interesting because that's exactly what they say they see. And it was like a big jump up like that, and then a sharp decline, and then another mid jump, I want to say right around here, and then it goes back down. And I think XLM, yeah, this one, think of it like this high and then goes down low, and then it gets back up to around here. That's the kind of graph I saw when I seen the high, then it goes back down low, and then comes back right around here, a midway high with the spikes. and so-called, when they say they see those visions, I saw this, something like that, these two sizes like this, and that was interesting because it confirmed in a weird way that, you know maybe they're right about this graph thing, and I'm not really sure, but if what I saw that time I saw the fives and the weird symbols and stuff, and then this graph, maybe I am seeing something, and maybe I'm being full of myself, and I don't want to be full of myself, but what if, and I can't just be quiet about something on a what if I'm feeling something, you know what I mean? And yeah, hopefully this channel, if you want it to continue, let me know, whether that's a comment, whether that's a like, whether you want to send in your dreams and let me read them, and just for fun, just, it doesn't matter what dream you have, I don't mind reading dreams are exciting, they're always fun, they're entertaining, they don't always have to be serious, they don't always have to be special or anything. They could be entertaining in different ways, they could be an experience that felt so real, maybe it was another life, who knows, you know and that's why, if you want to, I'll do that. And if you want to be more on the creative side, because like I said, there's a lot of people that have said, people are suppressing their gifts. If you want to write things, whether that's a story, or you want to begin a story, or just a short story or something, and you want to hear my opinion on things, and other people's opinions in comment sections, if we can grow this channel out, and I don't mind doing that. I actually write a little bit myself. I had stopped for a while, but I'm planning to get back into writing again, and I'm not gonna advertise it, unless you guys want to hear about that. But yeah, we can do that. We can listen to your stories, we can listen to your dreams, we can listen to whatever it is, that you have, that you want to be creative about, you want to do whatever, we can figure this out, and hopefully this was at least somewhat of an eye-opener to why I'm more spiritual, or why, like, some people are more spiritual, or why they have certain dreams or think certain things, or maybe this is something that you just wanted to hear, or anything, you're just wasting your time, and just wanted something to do. But it doesn't matter whatever the reason was. Thank you for listening. I appreciate that, and hopefully, if you want to hear any of my other dreams, or you want to do any of these other things with the channel, let me know, and hopefully we can do that. For now, I do appreciate it, whether you like it, whether you stop in for a brief second, whether this turns out to be 2 videos and instead of 1, whether this ends just off of this, me talking in this one particular video 2-parter or whatever, or if I combine it, whatever, so be it, well, whatever happens, and yeah, we'll see how things go. For now, I appreciate you listening, I appreciate you being around, and hopefully, I hope you have a good day, unlike mine. I'm planning to move forward in life, whether this stuff was bad, the bad day or not, I'm planning to move forward completely in my life and change things, and hopefully you do the same. Hopefully you join and doing that, whether you came to the end or not, but yeah, hopefully I catch you again. Yeah, for now, peace, and I hope you have a great life, pretty much, and experience. Until next time.